Big news today. President Trump vowing a major investigation into alleged voter fraud. The president tweeting out, quote, "I will be asking for a major investigation into voter fraud, including those registered to vote in 2 states, those who are illegal, and even those registered to vote who are dead, and many for a long time. Depending on results, we will strengthen up voting procedures." Here now to talk about this, Joe Trippi, Democratic campaign consultant and Fox News contributor, and Hadley Heath Manning, Independent Women's Forum senior policy analyst. Hadley, first to you. We do have a little bit of an academic dispute here about voter fraud and whether non-citizens are voting or not. There are 2 studies, a couple of studies that have been mentioned, one by Pew and the other by the Journal of Electoral Studies. I want to put up a quote from the first one. This appears to be one that the president was referring to. Professor Jesse Richmond and Professor David Ernest from Old Dominion University put this together. They say more than 14% of non-citizens in both the 2008 and 2010 samples indicated they were registered to vote. That's 14% of non-citizens voting. Our best guess, based on extrapolations, is that 6.4% of non-citizens voted in 2008, 2.2% non-citizens voted in 2010. But then there's another study, and this is Brian Schaefer from University of Mass. He says the results we show are completely accounted for by very low frequency measurement error. Further, the likely percent of non-citizen voters in recent U.S. elections is 0. So it looks like there's a dispute that maybe should be figured out, right?
Well, of course, it's important to stay vigilant against voter fraud, and there are many people who work in state governments and state boards of election to do just that. There are, as you referred to, academics who study this issue very in-depth. So it's a very important issue, but at this point, you know, we have to look at this election in 2016 and say, isn't it time to move on? You know, President Trump lost the popular vote, but the popular vote doesn't count. It isn't important for determining who wins the presidency, and the American people are looking forward to seeing his agenda moving forward, looking through the windshield rather than the rearview mirror.
But Joe, what is wrong with clearing this up, as long as it doesn't cost a fortune?
Well, first of all, it's pretty much been cleared up. That second study looked at the first study. What they did was they went back, looked at it. What turned out to have happened was a lot of people just checked the box wrong. They established that. The other group that didn't check the box wrong, they went and checked it with the official records, and it turned out they were not registered to vote and they did not vote. So, which is why they got to that number that 0 happened. Right. The fact of the matter is, look, I agree. He lost the popular vote. Look, there are clearly people dead on the rolls. Somebody died yesterday. Yeah. They're still out there. They're clear. Tiffany Trump, is just one example, is registered both in Pennsylvania and New York. Right. There's nothing wrong with that. What's wrong is if she voted in New York and then got in her car and drove like crazy over to Pennsylvania and voted again. So, I mean, these things did some people create those kinds of things? Yes, but it's minuscule. It's not in the 3 to 4 to 5 million that Mr. Trump, President Trump,
you may be right, but you may be wrong. And Hadley, it is true that these studies compete with each other. And by the way, the professors from the first study refute the dismissal by the other people. So these academic debates go back and forth, but shouldn't we clear it up once and for all?
You know, it's impossible to prove that voter fraud never happens, or it's nearly impossible. It's impossible to prove a negative. And so, yes, it's important to be vigilant. But then on the other hand, it's also important for President Trump and others now to explain and really defend the Electoral College system, because, again, the campaigns don't focus on winning the popular vote. And so to perseverate on losing the popular vote sort of lends legitimacy to these claims that the popular vote should count for something, when in reality in our Federalist system, it does not.
No, it doesn't. And if we did go to a popular vote, people would campaign in all different kinds of ways that they didn't in the last campaign. Joe and Hadley, I wish we had more time. We've got to move on. Thank you.